Guys, we are currently looking at my beginner account doing solo R5 at the moment, and we are only 17 days into this account. Yes, I'm not joking. I'm doing solo R5. It is really fast. It is not 100% win rate, but I think even my main account will lose once in a while when I miss defense break. It's good. Okay, and I'm gonna talk about how to build this team with all the unit I show you guys right here. It's just amazing how I'm able to do this, and I believe if I can do this, then everyone should be able to do solo R5 because I don't think anything here requires you to pull anything special at all. So here is my solo R5 team. In the middle, we have the standard Beleaguer R5 team. We have him on Rage Will, attack, crit damage, and attack. Every single chance I get my hand on any crafting material, I will craft Will Rune because that will allow me to build this Beleaguer and just random attack artifact. And because I did many R4 run before this, I spent at least a couple thousand energy in Raid 4 so I can grind every single piece of stat on this rune possible so I can get him to survive and do the minimum amount of damage. If I can max skill to skill 3 because there's no Devilmon for me to spare for this guy, he can do even more damage compared to what he's doing right now. Next up, we have the Lauren who can provide a defense break for the team. She's on speed, attack, and HP. Throughout this team building, you need to remember two things. I don't want to use violence on anyone in my team because the more turn I take, the longer the run is and the less safe it becomes because the boss can stun you and that's not fun. And the maximum speed for 99% of the unit I use in here will be below 169 because I want the boss to take the first turn so that I can have everyone move together in sync. The third one on this team will be the Colleen to provide the attack buff, and she is on a speed whatever. You need to make sure that she die after the boss jump so that the Beleaguer can gain the extra stack that he need so that he can perform the maximum damage attack once again. So it's roughly around this stat, about 10,000 HP and 4 to 500 defense. So she will survive the first attack, and then when the boss jump, the boss will kill her after the boss jump down, and then the Beleaguer can get the stack that he need to do the maximum damage. Okay, if she survives, that's not fun. In the front line, we have the Giant's Warrior who will die, comes back to life to die again. You can also use the Water Warbear. They do the same thing. We on fight Will so that he doesn't get Oblivion because the coming back mechanic is his passive. Next up, we have Pion. So this guy was discovered thanks to I can't remember, it was so long back then, a Philippine or Indonesian community. I was doing R5 with that guild and the entire guild didn't like Dark Viking, so they built this Pion guy because they discovered that his AI will always buff the attack bar and that will allow the team to go again. And if you have like 20 bonus speed, you don't even need will on this unit. So triple fight defense, HP defense, and that is about it. And lastly, we have the Fire Geralt for the leader skill. You can use the Fire Ninetail Fox for the leader skill. I actually don't have the Fire Ninetail Fox to use the leader skill, but I have this guy, so I use this guy. 10 extra % attack power, probably won't make a huge difference for most people. On the right side with the standard triple Inugami team, I managed to 2-way this guy a couple days ago, and he's on the defense, and defense. He is the fastest unit on the right team so that he can team up, provide a defense break for everyone else to start doing damage. He's on Will Rune because I don't have the Freya, the 4-star Sylph that you see in every other mid-end game R5 team to provide the cleanse and the heal. So everyone on the right team will need to have Will Runes. Next up, we have Crow on attack, crit damage, and attack, just broken set with Will Rune and you're good to go. We have Vert on the attack, crit rate, and attack. You can actually lower the crit rate of Vert to make it hit harder, but I'm too lazy to switch between Vert for R5 and then Vert for Dragon that I need max crit, so I just settle with one build and forget about it. Lastly, we have the Kali, not 2-way just yet, will be 2-way when I have the opportunity, on attack, crit damage, and attack as well. She's here to hopefully buff turn 1 and doing some good damage with the skill too. And lastly, instead of the usual Fire, Sylph, Freya, we have Darian to provide the skill 1 defense break because when the unit team up and they team up with Darian, the defense break is still very valuable. And with Darian on the field, the passive will help protect the team from the boss damage, so you can build everything on the right side way switchier compared to a usual team with the Freya that can provide healing and cleansing. And the last team is the team where you can be very creative depending on what you actually have on your account. You don't have to build exactly what I'm using right here, but the concept behind the left team is about branding and debuff. First, we have the Fran on HP, attack, and defense on Wilrun as well. She is faster than the recommended 169 speed because I want to use her in guild PvP as well, and if she's too slow, it is very hard to use her. I will buy a second Fran to build it for R5 specifically though. I don't want to use this kind of in-between build because I want a fast, violent build for guild PvP. But then we have this unit Dona. So it's on defense, HP defense, on Wilrun in the front line so they can survive. The whole purpose of Dona is this skill right here. It can cleanse and boost attack bar. Because it is a attack bar boosting skill, I think around 80% of the time he will use this skill in the first turn regardless of the debuff situation. So this unit allows me to have the left side team without Wilrun because most of the time he will use this skill. If Fran managed to buff immunity, then you don't even need the cleansing at all, but she doesn't, then Dona will actually cleanse all the debuff from the boss and I can still do very good damage. Next up, we have the Fire Panda on random rune, defense, defense, and defense. And he is here mainly to provide some debuff with the skill 3, and maybe sometime he can provide a good cleanse when you really need to, but the AI of Zhongfei is very confusing. There's no clear AI beside the skill 3 because the skill 3 deal damage according to debuff, so the boss has a lot of debuff. He will always use skill 3, but sometimes he will skill 1, skill 2 is weird all over the place, so you don't count on this guy to cleanse at all. Actually, on this matter, I try using Annabelle, Konamiya, and the AI are very stupid. Okay, I've seen Annabelle and Konamiya not use the cleansing skill at all because they have the healing component to their skill. So if you have debuff but your HP is still healthy, then they don't cleanse at all. That's why I settle with this guy because he uses it first turn all the time. In the damage dealer section, we have the Wind Ninetail Fox, who can do branding skill 1, very good, but not max skills, so not reliable just yet. And skill 3 can provide many debuff and very good damage as well. We have attack, good damage and attack, and thanks to the cleanse of Dona, it doesn't have to be on will, and it's here to do damage, pretty much it. Next up, we have Argan, who can provide damage and branding, many good debuff, on speed, good damage, and attack because I ran out of good rune with speed substat, but I want him to be on attack, good damage, attack in the future. And because they are not fire unit, I try to get them as high crit as possible. So the Fox need another 3% I couldn't find anywhere, and this guy managed to hit the 100% crit rate. But he didn't have the attack, crit damage, attack yet. And lastly, we have the only not so free to play unit on this team, but can be replaced with a Wind Marshal Cat 2A or pretty much anything that do damage according to debuff that you can get your hands on. Doesn't matter, okay? Brandia, whatever cool thing you have, you can slap it in here. She's only here because her skill 3 can do good damage according to debuff, and it can also defense break. So she's on attack, good damage and attack, and remember, you can use anything, okay? Max crit because she's not a fire unit, but she do very good damage. Alright, let's go for another run here. The dream sequence would be branding happening right here, but we have no branding because the war is cruel. So it took a bit longer than expected for the middle team to finish, but we still managed to do enough damage because there are many damage dealer in many different teams here. And if the things go really wrong, we still have many debuff so that the boss is weakened. So if we don't kill it right now with all the damage dealer that we have, the boss is rather weakened and the other damage dealer will do their job. So nobody's violent proccing, nobody is taking any extra turn from the actual run because the more turn you take, the higher chance the boss is gonna stun your team and it is not needed. You have to kill the boss below 15 turn and that's gonna be the best possible sequence. So have clear intention for all your team, like right here. We have the cleanse happen, no extra turn needed, no funny violent proc business that need to happen right there for the team to succeed. I want the cleanse to happen and I want the damage to follow after that immediately. A lot of people fall into the trap of building their team as fast as possible and on violent and tanky, all that stuff. You don't need that. As long as you do enough damage, the boss will die without any whatsoever funny business happening. And here we go. We have a lot of damage from all my damage dealer. even if after the jump the Belliger team do the damage, the boss still standing, it is still okay because everyone else is still doing damage. And right now it's not even the final form of this team just yet. There's so many more improvement I can do for everyone on this team. Not everyone is grinded, not everyone is built with the optimal damage output just yet. Everyone on this team can still do better damage and the runtime can go down to potentially 30 seconds because usually after the boss go down and Baliga do this final attack right here, the raid should end. But because the raid is not ending right here just yet, which means I can do so much more improvement and make it even faster. Because in the future, when I get my hands on this beautiful unit right here, let me find it in the ancient coin shop. So the goal for the shop, once again, is to buy this unit for auto dungeon. And I want to buy this unit because this one provides very good damage. It is a fire unit, so it's much easier to build an R5 because we are using fire leader skill, and it provides branding. And it has good AI when you land in a debuff on the enemy. So with this unit, I will be able to do even more damage and make the run even smoother. But that is in the future. I'm very happy right now that we are farming solo R5 very, very fast, very, very stable. And I can't believe it, how we are actually doing this. This is kind of crazy to me. And let's take a look at some progress update after I got the Ikaru 2A. So with the 2A Ikaru, I managed to clear Neko Abyss Heart with a very, very impressive runtime. But it was either 1 minute and 20 seconds or 2 minutes. There's no in between because I have no skill up on the Homunculus and I didn't do enough damage without Shaman. So the 2A Shaman is gonna take me another week to wait for the energy to refresh. So I won't be able to do any Necro Abyss Heart at the moment. I also managed to clear Punisher Crypt Abyss Heart as well, but chilling skill up is non-existent, so the slow debuff doesn't happen often enough, so the runtime is also very inconsistent, which means I don't want to farm it at the moment. If I get my hands on the Dark Vampire Lord, then Abyss Heart for Punisher Crypt should be easy as well. Thanks to the comment section reminding me to clear the Sanctuary of Dreaming Fairies and the Rune of Silent Death so that I can build a tower that gives me faster recharge rate for Dimension Hole energy. And that's pretty much it about the solo R5 guy. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section down below. Now let's talk about the grinds that I actually keep. So I keep pretty much everything from every rune set except for the Determination, Enhanced Accuracy, Tolerance, and Seal because I don't farm that dungeon at all. I occasionally craft fight rune, so I need to keep some for the fight rune that I use as well. I do keep flat legend and hero grindstone because a couple hundred extra HP attack and defense can really make or break your survivability or your damage output in certain dungeon. For the rune set that I don't care about at all, I will keep mostly legend and hero so they don't take up too much space in my gem and grind storage. And that's about it for this video. I won't be farming too much on this account anymore because I'm literally out of crystal and energy. So I will farm a little bit daily, but we can't really do much anymore. But the good thing is I have done almost everything already. And the only thing that's keeping me away is just 2A more unit. And that is something that you can't even pay to win to get. But for the most part, I've cleared everything with free-to-play crystal, free-to-play runes, and free-to-play unit. I will definitely update you guys when I make new progress and do a final update at day 30. Not sure what to do after that, but that's it for now.